obviously a very significant personal achievement. Does it open a lot of doors for the individual?
Oh yes, you are very well recognized after that. Yeah? And you can see most of the winners of the Bocuse d'Or, they open their restaurant. I'll give you an example like Serge Vieira in France, who won the Bocuse d'Or twice as a candidate and also as a president. And he also has his restaurant, his own restaurant in France with 2 Michelin stars. So, it's well regarded from everyone.
Tell us, obviously, Paul Bocuse was a dear friend. Tell us a little bit about his legacy and why it's important, what he did and setting up this competition.
Well, Monsieur Bocuse, Monsieur Paul, like I used to call him, I used to work for him, 25 years around the world, of course in Lyon and then in Japan. He's the one who sent me in Australia in 1991 to open his restaurant.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Paul. Yeah, and he's one of the greatest chefs we had, not only in France, but representing France around the world as well.
And the competition itself, it's really grown. It was a little bit smaller in the early years, but it really has grown now. Why do you think it's grown so much, and why people have embraced it so much as an important?
Yeah, Donna, for me it's really about, everyone's got their own personality, they're individual. If you look at someone like and Philippe Mouchel, very calm, very quiet, very softly spoken, just works all day. Me, I'm a little bit different. I kind of razz the team up and get them going. Everyone's got a different style, the different coaching techniques, but you still have to be in the zone. It's about getting in the zone and focusing on exactly what you're doing. And I think that Dan's analogy of the World Cup is really, really what it's like too. It's like the World Cup. It's up at that level.
Okay, but working as a team,
yes,
making sure that you're sort of looking out for each other, and also I do like that reference to sort of the support, and you're kind of mini mentoring each other every step, aren't you?
You are pushing each other, right? You are there to help and support, but you need to leverage off each other, but actually push each other to get better and right to the brink.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what have we got here, Donna? Next team, Team 3. Here we go, an old mate of mine, Trevor Jenkins. Yeah, Trev, how's things?
Very well. Yeah, enjoying.
I'm going to head up to
Loving the experience. It's great. Fantastic.
What are you enjoying there, Trevor?
I'm enjoying all of it. Yeah, just the atmosphere, being here, the opportunity to be able to cook with Bocuse d'Or is brilliant.
I'm really enjoying getting the insights into why people want to be part of Bocuse d'Or. So, Trevor, please elaborate for us. I mean, it is such a phenomenal opportunity for anyone who wants to take part. You're in the top 4. By the end of today, we're going to find out whether you will be representing Australia.
Yeah, and that's the most incredible thing. Yeah, to be able to represent Australia and to go to France is amazing, but to be involved just in Bocuse is even better than representing Australia. Yeah, the competition itself stands for so much more than just a competition. Yeah, it's carrying on the legacy and the name of Bocuse. Yeah, and it's an incredible opportunity. Yeah, the networking, getting to meet people, getting into opportunities that you potentially wouldn't get any other time.
And just talk us through, we talked to the wonderful Philippe Mouchel about the prerequisites, what has to be presented or included, those ingredients that we talked about, pine mushrooms and chestnuts. Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so our first dish, we've got we've made a fake chestnut. So it actually looks like a chestnut, but it's made from chestnut milk, chestnut mousse, pine mushroom duxelle inside. So that'll be kind of like a hero. Then we've got a enoki mushroom steak, which has been glazed with pine mushrooms. It'll have pickled chestnuts put on top. We've also got pickled pine mushrooms that are going to go on top of that. We've got a pine mushroom panisse with pickled pine mushrooms and chestnuts. We've got a pine mushroom beurre blanc and a puree. So that's just the first dish.
So when you heard it was pine mushrooms and chestnuts, what was your gut reaction?
When I found out what the 4 ingredients were, I went fantastic. Yeah, pine mushrooms and chestnuts, they're brilliant together. Yeah, and they're amazing things to work with in general. Yeah, and then for the main course, to find out that it was lamb and lemon myrtle. Lemon myrtle in by itself is amazing. Yeah, a native ingredient to be able to play with. It's very aromatic. It's got a lot of flavour to it. Yeah, and to be able to work with Australian lamb as well is even better.
Now you seem pretty calm and in control, Trev. Yeah? Is that because of Bethany or is that because you've done all your mise en place already?
It's a bit of both.
A bit of both?
Bethany's an absolute superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an absolute gun. She's all over it from the start, so
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
And then what about the young fella over here that's punching out little donuts? What's he doing?
Tremaine, he's fantastic. So Tremaine's doing certificate 3 at Big Uni.
Okay.
And he's just jumped in to help us for the day, which is fantastic. And it was a nice surprise, actually. We didn't find out until Monday that we had him, so it's been absolutely brilliant.
Great. Well, like an extra set of hands always helps. So, right, so when's your first course up, Trevor? What time?
1:35.
1:35. So an hour to go really now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
Now it's just a matter of putting the garnishes together and we're all good.
Trevor, I do have one more question because I think people want to know about you and what you've done up until this moment. Tell us a little bit about what you've done.
Currently, I'm a teacher at Holmesland, and I've been at Holmesland 9 years, teaching commercial cookery for Certificate 3, Certificate 4, vet and school students for Certificate 2, high school kids. Prior to that, I was executive chef of 13 restaurants for a little while. Before that, over in Europe, working in the Netherlands, at Carrel 5, which is a Michelin star at the hotel for a bit, and another restaurant called the Zuckendrucker, which translates as the sack carrier. It was there for 2 years as the head chef there. Prior to that, Sydney, sous chef at the Sheraton in Sydney, and then before that, Brisbane, and before that, Sunshine Coast, where it all started.
Fantastic. Thanks, Trevor. I'm always intrigued to hear about what people, have done. I mean, going to Europe and...
Going to Europe all around. Trev, we'll let you keep in the zone. Good luck.
Nice one, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Trevor Jenkins. He's quite busy, isn't he? Like, we've interrupted.
That's probably not the best time to interview him, but you've got to put him under pressure randomly.
Well,
Right, Donna, what's next on the to-do list?
Well, what's next? We're going to be speaking with Sadiq Adoli from Chef's Hat very, very shortly. But before that, can we speak to Kitchen 4?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Up to
I'm
Kitchen
walking
4.
backwards. Is this safe?
No, that's
Okay.
all right. That's all right. I've got your back. Any problems? I'll push them out of the
You've got my
way,
back,
Donna.
literally. Okay, here we are. Tommy Prosser.
Hello.
Where's Tommy?
Right, then how are you going?
Oh,
Right, Tommy, you under control? Hang on. Yeah, let's go around there and I
Should we
think
go
we
around?
need to let Tommy keep going in the zone. Oh, you come around this way, Tommy. Okay.
I know that
Good,
timing
mate,
is
good.
everything, Tommy, but we're going to have a very quick chat if you don't mind. This is being live streamed, so we're letting everybody that unfortunately couldn't make it here today, but we welcome everyone here and also watching.
Yeah, that's my
wherever they
son
are.
Colin. He's 5. Hello, Colin.
Oh, that's so
How
lovely.
are you? Which one? Just say hello.
Absolutely. Now, Tommy, obviously, we've been talking about the pressure that all the chefs are under. How have you been coping?
Oh, it's just a normal day in the office, isn't it? Getting breakfast ready for a 5-year-old and a 4-week-old. So, yeah, living the dream.
What have you been? Talk us through what you've been doing this morning and
So,
this afternoon.
Well, we've got the saddle lamb. We butchered that all down. We use the spine to make the jus. We use the fat, rendered it down to coffee the potatoes. We use the belly in the farce, and then obviously the fine cuts in the mosaic. With the pine mushrooms and chestnuts, we made like a boudin noir with the chestnuts, and done some pickled pine mushrooms on a smoked damper with wattle seed in that, and that's got like a bit of a saffron and pine needle veil. Where else are we? We've got our cauliflower, a little play on like the cauliflower cheese, so our roast is very much kind of that play on the Aussie lamb roast, but so much better.
Right.
We've been talking about being organised in the kitchen, Scott, haven't we?
Yes.
Can we ask Tommy about his organisational skills? I mean, the time's ticking, and it's just
The
a couple
time's
of minutes
ticking. Let's
away
use
now,
under the
isn't
pump
it?
a little bit. Right,
look
so
how
a big
proud
hour
he
of
looks.
power, big push to get there in the end, as always. Like you find yourself almost on the brink, Tom, don't you?
Yeah, I look, like you said, it's like you're surfing, you don't know whether you're going to fall in it or fly, and I'm flying at the moment, so I'm not in it, which is good.
All right, well, you ride that wave and bring it home then, Tommy. Good luck.
Did you get a sense then that we better just let Tommy get
I
on
think
with
we
it?
better let him get in the zone a little
Yeah.
bit. He's in there, he's good, right? But as he should be. No, I know you've only got 5. We know you. Well, I hope you had 100, but if you got one.
Done, you know, this is just.
Oh, he's done. It's just a little bit of garnish, bit of theatre. No, that's good. No. Look, it's good to keep yourself busy. I think the thing about Bocuse story is you don't know how many jobs you can actually do in the 5 hours until you actually keep doing them and training. And then once you're cleaner and more precise, and you just keep learning through training and through repetition. So, look, I would want him to have 100 jobs now, because that means that he's really pushed himself and the team to the end. So the more you can do, and the more elements that you can do when you get to France, the better.
Yes, because I was just going to ask a very generic question, and that is 5 hours a long time? Or
No,
a little bit of
not at all.
time? It's
No.
a little bit of time.
This is one of the times, and actually part of my French, you want to be the end point, because if you're not, then you're actually not enough.
Yeah.
Right, you almost want to go down. Right, you almost want to get to that point where you don't deliver, because if you're right there and you're right on the edge, and then you bring it together, then bang, you've done as much as you possibly can. So
I was just going to say, with Bocuse d'Or, it is about, I suppose, you're motivated to do more than you think you could ever possibly manage. Is that fair?
yeah, but yes, exactly. It's not just meat and 3 veg,
Yeah.
right? It's a lot more than that. So you need to do as many things, and time just slips away. So we were talking before, actually, with the gents over there, that when I did it in 2005, I had a saddle of lamb. So a side of veal a side of veal. So it was a 25 kilo side of veal. And I actually bought like an electric saw to cut through,
Oh, wow.
right? So rather than a hacksaw or doing it by hand, I normally would, this saved me about 4 minutes.
Okay.
But if 10 jobs, 4 minutes, then I buy myself an extra 40 minutes to do other things during that 5 hour period.
Absolutely.
So it actually comes down to the minute.
Yeah, time is of the essence, as we know.
100%.
And we just spoke with Tommy Prosser here at Kitchen 4, talking about that, he's got about, less than an hour? About an
his
hour?
last one up, just over an hour, like an hour 15 for his first job. But this is where you almost want to be touch and go, because now is when you start to move, you up the ante, and then you bring it home for the last hour of power.
Fantastic. Okay, we're here at Bocuse d'Or Australia, and we're here with Scott Pickett. I'm Donna Demaio, and we're thrilled to be here. Watching them at work, watching them in the kitchens, it's quite, I don't know, it's quite...
Well, you can feel the energy start to
intense,
lift,
isn't it?
can't you?
It's really intense.
Like, I can see you're getting a bit stressed here already. I'm getting
I'm not even
been there.
doing anything.
Like, you can feel that energy. You can
Yeah,
feel it
it's a
starting
real
to amp
build-up.
up. It's a build-up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you can feel the intensity going with the chef. So let's walk down and see what else we can see.
What
But all
else
I'm
is
saying
happening? Well, we know that the judges are observing, the kitchen judges have been observing throughout the morning as well.
Yeah, we've got a bit of time before our next. Yes, but what about this chef here, Mr. Deepak Mishra? Deepak? Hi, Deepak. Now, Deepak, we go back many years. You're a great supporter of Bocuse d'Or. Even so much so, right, Donna, I'm not sure if we've ever explained it to everybody now, but what happens now is, today, then we go to, right, so there is a next step before you get to France. So there is the Asian finals that I think they're going to be in China or Singapore. We were there about 4 years ago. Then the Asia, then you go to France, right? So we need to basically come top 4 or 5 in Asia to earn the right to get to France. Now, about 6 or 8 years ago, Deepak was in Singapore, and the Bocuse d'Or Asia was in Singapore, and he was a major supporter of the team, and access to hotels, to vans, to equipment. So Deepak, big supporter. You tell us about Bocuse d'Or for you.
Bocuse d'Or is very special. Has always been nearly 8 or 9 years I've been involved with Bocuse d'Or as a supporter. Highest that everybody knows. And Scotty, Tom, and Chef Philippe Mouchel, they have a great supporter, and that something keeps everything going and motivate the team. It's always really great to be a part of it and seeing everybody exceeding the expectations and kicking goals. Fantastic lineup. We're quite excited to see the food which will be coming in the next one hour.
And how do you feel about being a judge? What are you looking for?
Like Scotty mentioned a few minutes ago, it's all about flavors, it's all about the food, and using of the ingredients, the hero ingredients, and how the flavors are enhanced with the cooking techniques. That's what we're looking for.
And your association with Bocuse d'Or for such a long time, 8 or 9 years now. What's it been like for you to see these chefs accomplish so much? And just, I mean, you're part of it, but then also we've spoke with Philippe Mouchel before about it does open doors literally, and then they go on to do even more spectacular things.
Absolutely, it opens door. You know, like Scotty was a participant, like Chef Tom Milligan was a participant. They have represented Australia, and they are great chefs. And now we can see Scotty is one of the iconic chefs in Australia. And when Michael participated, and Dan Arnold participated as well, and they went to Lyon. They did a great job out there. And the last time it was Alex. And they have made it really great in their career as well. They're quite successful restaurateur, and they're well received as well as a chef. So definitely that opens up our door. It's a great platform. It's a very respectable platform as well.
Yeah, Donna, I think this is a big thing as well.
Yeah, thanks, Donna. I mean, this is the big thing. And this is what I really want to highlight today, is the support of people like Deepak and the industry, and people, as I said earlier, for so many people to give up their spare time, their resources. Like, I mean, imagine, you know, I call Deepak and say, Deepak, we're coming to Singapore. I need some gastro trays. I need a van. It gives me goosebumps now. And he's like, Scotty, no problem. You send me an email and anything you need is there. Then you get off the plane in Singapore and there's a 5-star hotel. There's a chef. There is a team that is behind the team. There are so many people behind. And that, to me, is really what the chef's jacket's all about. It's about the respect to Mr. Paul that goes all the way, the links, the heritage, to Philippe Mouchel, the trained me, right, to Tom Milligan, the trained me, you know, the guys like this. We go back, 20 years where they helped the young chefs come through. And that is the essence, and I think that's what you get most in France, is the essence of food and of cooking. And I really, really what it's all about. That camaraderie, that support. Like, I mean, I was there in January, and I'm a tasting judge, and I have Thomas Culler come along and say, Scott, how are you going? Like one of the most famous chefs in the world, you know. The president for England now has just been announced. It's Claire Smith, right? So 3 Michelin star female chef in London that is driving the Bocuse d'Or in the UK. Her and her team, right? And she was Gordon Ramsay's head chef or executive chef for like 10 years. So these are the people that are behind this competition, really just to help and support the industry and the young talent coming through. And it really means so much to me, Deepak. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you so much. It was fascinating. I've noticed a couple of times today that you get a little bit emotional, Scott, because, I mean, we're talking about nurturing young talent. We're talking about nurturing people that have dedicated their lives to culinary creations, and their entire life is all about being a chef and making beautiful food for us. Thank you very much. Why are you getting so emotional?
Well, I mean, if I first went to Bocuse d'Or in 1999, so I was, and a good friend of mine that worked with us as well too, that worked. Right, so to give you the lineage that goes back for me, this is 25 years of my life almost. Right, so 99, and a great chef that's got a restaurant in Melbourne now that's called Mr. Bianco, and so Joe Vargetta. Right, so Joe actually represented Australia in 99 with Philippe. I find out about this, I'm living in London, I take a week off and I go to Lyon. Right, to stand in the crowd, to stand there with Joe, to say hi to Joe, to say hi to the chef. Right, and to think as a young man, like, this is literally dreams coming true, right, for me. Then, I was 05, George Columbaris was 03, right? So George has been a major supporter and a guy that's lived and breathed this as well too. 05 was me, right, because it's every second year, so every odd year, right? 07, 09, so George had a commis, right? So his assistant, and I think he's here today too, a chef by the name of Luke Croston. Luke Croston competed in 07, 09 as well too. So there is a lineage. It becomes like a big family. That's what they call it in France. It is the Bocuse d'Or family. And that's the app that everybody's on. That's what happens with there. And so it's about industry support for everybody along the way, which is really, really paramount.
for sharing that, Scott. Now, Scott, I do going to be speaking the gold sponsor representative from Chef's Hat, Sadiq Adoli. Sadiq, here he is. Come along here. Thank you for joining us today. Come in. So, Sadiq Adoli, you are the sales and marketing manager for Chef's Hat, and you are supplying some pretty impressive prizes, by the way. Thank you very much. We talked about all the support that people are giving. Tell us about the prizes and Chef's Hat and why you want to be involved.
Thanks for having me, firstly. Well, it's our World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, it is our World Cup, isn't it?
If Chef's Hat can't be involved with the World Cup...
well, there's something wrong, isn't there? There is something wrong.
So, the bits and pieces that Henry and the team at Chef's Hat were nice enough to put together, they'll put to good use, not only today, but also for the rest of their careers. So, I'm hoping that from the little mushroom brush to that Japanese slicer, we'll get a good workout over the next 10 or so years. So, but yeah, no, we're rapt to be involved. It's our second or third year now, but yeah, it's the World Cup. And we're the chef's shop. Proudly...
I've been there for how many years now? Because I remember, like, I was at the Point for a long time before I started Estelle, and I was, like, if I was in the weeds, I would duck around the corner to South Melbourne. I'd grab a rolling pin, I'd grab a knife, I'd grab a thermo or something. Always been there, and that's 4:05. So you guys have been there longer than that.
Mate, I as a 20-year-old, mate, I remember you rolling in from the Point down the road, where you generally walk up Clarendon Street, wouldn't even drive.
Yeah, I would.
So, we're family-owned, family-run. The only hospitality supplier in Australia, open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We've got 100 staff working at Chef's Hat over 7 days. And yeah, we're rapt to be involved with Bocuse. It's a terrific competition. And yeah, I wish all the contestants all the very best today, because I know it's been an early start.
Yep. Tell the punters out there, because it is an industry show. Some people might know you, some not, and they've got their family, their friends here today. Ryan, so what can we buy at Chef's Hat? I know, but what does everybody else know?
Well, you can buy a $40,000 combi oven to a toothpick and everything in between.
Yeah, great.
So, ideally, I've got we're just down the road here in South Melbourne, multi-level site, and ideally I'd have another third floor because they're able to showcase more.
Yeah.
But yeah, from if you have a shell, we're able to bring your vision to life, from stainless steel fabrication to a canopy to an oven to the crockery and cutlery that ends up being served to your client. So. Yeah,
and so you can go to the South Melbourne market, you can pick up a couple of dimmies and then walk across the road and then shop by plates, buy some plates from, you know, that are locally sourced, locally made, through to imported, French, Italian, all kinds of brands, everything that you need. It's actually a chef's dream, is that we walk in, and the reason that I don't go there much, no, that's wrong. Yeah, the reason that I stop myself going there is because whenever I go, like I go in for a couple of plates and I drop $5,000 on the account. So otherwise I get carried away.
So we're fortunate, Scott, that your staff do. So
yeah, we are. I go there, I'm like, geez, Arlie, you went for a La Cruz, the chef, you bought 20 coppers, I love it.
Scott Pickett Group's a big supporter of ours, and we appreciate their support too. But we pride on having something for everyone. You know what I mean? That's a big problem. We're open to the public. Today we have the general punter having that dim sim across the road and ducking across and buying gear of quality that the chefs use day in, day out. So they appreciate that. We try and offer a level of service as well on the back of it, which marries up against the quality of product we have. So,
Sadiq, without turning your back on this cameraman, can you point out a few?
We're gonna face the right way.
Can you point out a few things? I mean, I think you've supplied plates, you've supplied all sorts of things today.
You got the two RoboCook pieces there. So we've got a J80 juicer, one of the better juicers on the market. The RoboCook in the background there. That's the commercial version of a Thermomix. For those that don't know what it is, I hope everyone knows what a Thermomix is, right? If you work your way around, you've got the obviously colour-coded chopping boards, gastro pans. There's not much here that isn't in our showroom. Mixing bowls, good quality Chefinox cookware. I can even sell you that Convatherm combi oven in the corner. So, Everything in front of us, little smoking gun in the corner over there too. So everything in front of us can be bought at our showroom in South Melbourne. And it's all quality stuff. That's why it's being used today. So.
And Sadiq, I do believe that. Tell us about the prizes you've actually contributed for today. I think everyone participating, so the chefs and the commis, all get some kind of wonderful knife roll. Is that correct? Talk us through that.
Yeah, so just a bag of goodies to show our appreciation.
Not just.
So beautiful knife roll. There's a couple of Opinel knives in there, a beautiful slicer as well, Japanese slicer, some other bits and pieces, and I've no doubt they'll put it to good use for the rest of their careers.
Well, thank you very much. That's much appreciated, of course. Scott?
Look, I just want to say again a big thank you, because without the sponsors, without guys and businesses and girls like this, we actually wouldn't be able to be here today. So, Sadiq, massive supporter of you guys, you know, for 20, 25 years. As I said, don't get down there enough because I just opened up the wallet. But the team have been down. I'm like, hang on, boys, calm down, stick to the budget. Because it is, for me, going to somewhere like Chef's Hat is like being a kid in a candy store. There's so many things there, and I don't even like glassware and buy stuff for the front of house, but I even buy cocktail shakers and glasses and everything down there. It's not just about the chef's toys, although I tell you what, if that combo term's the next demo model, then maybe we'll have a chat tomorrow.
All right. Dan hasn't given it to you already, but happy to take the call. So, all the very best to all the contestants today. I know it's been a long day, and congratulations to every participant.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much, Sadiq Ardoli from Chef's Hat.
Cheers,
that
mate.
was
Thank you.
a wonderful chat, and thank you for donating
Big round of applause.
brilliant prizes.
Major sponsor of the Bocuse store. Thanks very much. Thank you.
We do have a few others just to mention, just to rattle off, because we've established well and truly that the support that's coming from all manner of areas in the industry is so appreciated and so critical.
100%.
So important. It just wouldn't be happening without them.
Look, from bronze to silver to gold to everyone, Donna, the whole way through anything. And I don't want this to sound like we're doing a telethon or whatever, but I just want to actually really acknowledge and appreciate the support of every single person, right, that actually that donates something to help these chefs get through the front.
Well, we know that Braggart has come on board because...
here's a young man. Hang on, we'll get to Braggart in a sec, my favourite jacket. But we have a young man here, Tristan.
No dessert.
Hello.
It's,
So Tristan was with us, with the team, in France in January as a commis to Michael Cole. Absolutely amazing young man. Tristan, you tell us about your experience in France?
Well, first of all, it wasn't just a competition when I went into it. Before we had even seen where we were competing, we were in a big conference room where you see Thomas Keller, you see all the judges, the whole panel in front of you, and they sort of talk to you as if it's a big brother and sisterhood. Which, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect it to be
That's
such
actually a great way to put it. It's a brotherhood and sisterhood of chefs, right, that come along, that are all there for the moment, aren't they? It's not just about actually winning or losing. It's about being there on the day and actually representing your country, isn't it?
Yeah, you're in a room with people who have come to see each other, familiar to each other, and at the end of it, how long has it been going now? 36 years?
Yes.
So you've only got that every 2 years. You've got 18 runs. You've got 2 people from each country. That's around 400 people who have ever been in this competition, who have entered that room in Lyon. So then, if you step back, you realise how special it is to
very, very special moment, isn't it, that day?
And that really hit me when I was able to compete alongside all those people who are just as special.
It's amazing. It's something that you can't really describe until you're actually there on the day, can you? Because you don't know what to expect unless you've been through it before. And as you said, there are, literally the most famous and gifted and dedicated chefs in the world all in one room.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just to have your eyes on what everyone else is doing, as impossible it is, because of how down and tilted your vision is the entire time with lights and sirens, and also the feeling of the first team. Here we've got 4 teams. On the day, there are 20 of you. You're doing in 2 rounds. You hear the first team start plating the dish when you've still got an hour and a half to go.
When you're an hour and a half to go, you're like, oh my God.
You feel like you've got that rush and you go, I'm not even ready yet. I don't even know where my plates are. You know, I don't even have the equipment for my last 2 jobs. You know, so it's entirely different, and this is only just a taste of it for sure.
Right, and you've only just joined the team, really. I mean, the family, really, the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes,
but
definitely.
as a young chef, so what does it mean to you? You know, how's it changed your life? Because it's literally life-changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is life-changing. Because I've always seen myself in the kitchen as an observer.
Yep.
From my experience, as short as it's been, is that a chef who you look up to and who has the responsibility to teach you something won't always do it the same way as they're telling you.
Yes.
That's natural, but what you'll get the most out of is observing and seeing what everyone else is doing. And sort of
learning and seeing and just being part of it. Well, Tristan, well done. I hope that you're actually standing here in 20 years. We pass the baton. Great for you to be part of it. Thank you very much.
What a lovely
young man, isn't he?
And a true talent.
Yeah, true talent. So he's a Vue de Monde now. So he was part. All right, so to give you a bit of background on Tristan, 2 years ago at this competition, he actually wasn't with Michael Cole. With Alex, right? Michael was Mike. Right, so Alex won, and he was actually the commis or the assistant for Paul Goldie that came second. But Alex's assistant, by the time we got to France, was too old. So the shoulder and said, would you like to team up? So there was part of Team 1 and Team 2 that actually joined forces to go. That wasn't planned. That just kind of happened.
Amazing. Okay, so now... Wow.
Now, when's the first dish coming up? Or what time? When's the first dish? Yeah, we should.
This is pretty incredible because
Right, are we getting close, Donna?
in 6 minutes' time...
yeah, we are Team 1, are we?
We are going to be introducing
Okay, no.
the judges.
Okay.
So in 5 or 6 minutes' time, we'll have all the judges coming along here and taking their places, let's say.
Okay.
And so we'll be introducing them, of course, and letting everyone know who's going to be participating, who's judging, who's deciding overseas at Bocuse d'Or. Should we run through the names now? Or should we
No, I
wait?
reckon we should have a short break, 5 minutes. We'll have a glass of water,
That's
and
a
we'll
great
keep
idea.
everyone on the edge of their
So-
seats, and then we'll run through the heavyweights of the hospitality industry.
And you're full of good ideas. I concur. Let's have a glass of water. We'll be back in 5.
Right.
Driving through our memories, hand in hand, you and me, we were making rather see you and me. We can make it happen. Be my forever, babe. Leave the light on for me. Well, honey, let me down slowly. I've never been a dreamer till I met you. I know I don't deserve it, but honey, I mean it. I've never been a dreamer till I met you. I know you'd be stronger on your own, different place, but I need you here to be forever, babe. I'll take all my chances on a life here with you, 'cause you make it better. Let's do forever, babe. Leave the light on for me, but honey, let me down slowly. I've never been a dreamer till I met you. I know I don't deserve it,
Right, it is. Right, Donna. Right.
Scott Pickett.
Right, Donna, welcome back. So we are 15 minutes away from Kitchen 1 getting their entree up. So I think what we'll do, because we've got to introduce the judges first.
Absolutely.
So we're going to bring all the chefs through. They're going to take their marks. We've got about 15 minutes for that. And then as each team brings up, I think we talk the viewer through live action. What are they dressing? What's the plate? What's the dish right there?
I think that is a brilliant idea.
All right, so the first two judges, the head of judges.
Yes, we have...
Now then where are we going? Where are the first two judges? Are they down here? We need some fanfare. So what we're going to do, we're going to judging panel that is going to come through in front of us and then take their seats, getting ready for 12 minutes now for the first team to actually get their food up. So, number one, Donna, who's top of the list?
Well, we have two head judges.
Two head judges.
And we have spoken to them already today, but these people are important. Everyone's important, of course, but Tom Milligan, the president of Bocuse Australia, and executive chef, the Australia Club, of course. Tom Milligan, welcome.
Where's Tom?
Welcome.
Tom, where's Tom? Big round of applause for Tom Milligan, everyone.
For Tom Milligan.
Tom, if you could take a seat. He was a representative of Bocuse in 1995.
1995.
Five. I need my glasses. Now, the second man, the co-head judge, the man himself, the protege of Mr. Paul Bocuse for many years, that really brought, really brought this competition to Australia. Massive supporter, one of my mentors and great friends now is Mr. Philippe Mouchel.
Round of applause, please, for Philippe Mouchel, honorary life president of Bocuse Australia. And
great
legend.
Living legend.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest French chefs to actually cook in this country, that so many wonderful cooks have come through his kitchens and are here today as well too, but all around the country, still cooking the red wine sauce the way that Philippe showed us 25 years ago.
Did you just see that? Philippe Mouchel just wiped his brow.
Well, that's because we pinched all his recipes when he arrived from France, isn't it? But sharing is caring. Now, Donna, on the vegetarian jury, who is the first chef up?
We have Michael Cole, who represented Australia in 2019.
Yeah, Chef Michael Cole.
Chef 2019. Michael Cole.
All the way through. Where is Michael? Are you down at the end here? Oh, no. Yeah, this side is the vegetarian tasting. Here we go. So Michael Cole in 2019, wasn't it? I was there, actually. I'm just trying to work out what year it was, Mike. It's all wild. A few years ago, because you kind of lose your calendar dates because of COVID, don't you? All right, it's a little bit. So Michael Cole, who's now got a great restaurant called Moat Dining down on the peninsula, down there as well, doing some wonderful food, some wonderful stuff. So great to have you here, Michael. Thank you.
Now we welcome Karen Doyle, Program Manager for Le Cordon Bleu.
A big round of applause. Where's Karen coming through?
On the jury. Thank you very much.
Welcome. How are you? Very good. You take a seat next to Mike.
Could we be having a better time, Scott?
No, I'm excited. We've got like 9 minutes to get the judges up. This is the best thing. This is where we get to showcase the great culinary talent in this country, all there, and they've got the best job to taste the food.
We have 6 minutes remaining until the first dish is presented.
Right, well, let's push on. We're going to get the judges up. Next up the list is Deepak Mishra. Deepak, long-time Bocuse supporter.
From Pan Pacific Melbourne and Vice President of Bocuse Australia.
Vice President of Bocuse and Executive Chef of Pan Pacific just around the corner here. Massive supporter. Next up, one of my proteges, I suppose, a little bit, Mr. Joshy Pelham. Come on through, Josh.
Round of applause
for Josh. Round of applause for Josh.
Round of applause for all the judges, of course.
For all of it. Well,
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Big applause at the end. So Josh is now Executive Chef out at Flemington with Crown Resorts out there. Was a candidate in 2020. We would have gone to Europe, but then COVID hit. But Josh is a great supporter here as well to do great cook. So welcome, Josh. Okay.
So that is the vegetarian jury. Now the meat jury, and we see Alex McIntosh from Southwest Brewery, Executive Chef, and gosh, what did he do earlier this year?
Oh, earlier this year we were cold in France, weren't we, big fella? We were definitely, we were in the shit a little bit. That's what we were doing earlier this year, weren't we? Sorry, pardon my French. But we were running around France and Lyon.
Alex McIntosh, We'll take a seat now at the meat jury table.
At the meat jury, yep.
And now we have Stephen Nairn.
Stevie Nairn, come on down, Stevie Nairn. So, Steve and I go way back as long too. So, when I opened ESP, which was established by Scott Pickett, was with Josh, and then Stevie joined the team. Was with me for a long time. Wonderful supporter now, and he's I think the culinary director of Omnia and all the precinct down there on the corner of Tirac Road and
Eugen
as well too. They've just opened function events.
Beautiful.
Stevie, great chef, great cook. Prior to being with me, was executive chef for Vue de Monde for Shannon and was at 11 Madison Park in New York. So, you know, this is the kind of talent that we have behind us that is tasting and actually supporting these candidates.
Okay,
Next,
we
3
have,
minutes.
as I look at my watch,
Next.
right? Wasn't very subtle, was it?
No, that's all right.
Sasha Randall from
Sasha,
Meat
come on
Smith.
through. Sasha, thank you. So
Thank you
Sasha,
so
just
much.
to fill you in about her, is at Meat Smith now, but was with Philippe Mouchel for many, many, many years. His right hand, his support in restaurants and kitchens and lots for many years. So great to have Sasha here as well too. We go back since we're about 12 years old, don't we, Sash?
And the final judge to join the meat jury table is Bernd Uber.
Last but not least, Chef Uber come through. A man that has judged in so many formats, so different competitions globally, probably 30, 40, 50 years now. Unbelievable. He's kind of like the grandfather of the culinary judge world. So great to have Chef Uber here. For many years was in different colleges, training, bringing chefs through, even guys older than me. So great to have Chef Uber here as well too.
No one's older than you, Scott.
Well, they are. I think Chef Uber a couple of years on me.
No, that was fantastic. So, no, we're going to give him a big round of applause.
Big round of applause for all the judges, everyone that's donated their time today. Thank you.
For Bocuse Australia has joined us now. So thank you so much for your time. It's a very,
Right,
very
Donna, I
important
reckon we need to
moment.
get down to kitchen one because
We
they are
have
getting close. We need to bring everything
Just
down here now.
seconds before the first dish will be presented. The
here we
very
go.
first dish here. We've
Okay,
got
we've got
2
minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes now. Can
So-
you guys actually see in there? Because they are actually dressing their vegetarian entree now. So I think it's important that we actually get the camera off us over these guys over here. Because they are dressing. Now, what are they dressing? What is their first dish?
Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what they're dressing because we're 60 seconds away from the first presentation of the first
Which is
meal.
burnt butter pine mushroom. Yep. Cauliflower and pine mushroom. Hang on.
No, wait a minute.
Huh?
Scotty.
Well,
Kitchen one.
No, that's lamb. That's second course. First is veg. Start with the veg. Don't worry, I'm all over it. Right, so they are starting burnt butter pine mushroom. Yep. Mounted pepper, roasted celeriac, native leaf and thyme milk, folded cabbage, confit fennel, roast chestnuts, rolled kohlrabi with pine mushrooms. And here it is coming out now. Massive round of applause, please, everybody, for the food for Kitchen One's up. There's a little cucumber and apple number on there as well too. Parmesan tartlet with braised leek, chestnut and mushroom sauce. So many elements. Very, very technical dish. And I'm not part of the tasting jury this year, but that looks
Yeah, I can hear you salivating.
pretty stunning, doesn't it?
Standing next to you. It looks absolutely gorgeous. We talked earlier about how important presentation is and flavour. So,
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things that the judges have to consider. Now, you've just seen the dishes.
They both have to be at the same level. Flavour is number one, but the presentation needs to be there as well too.
And what's your first impression there, Scott, of what's come out? Exactly.
Wow. Look amazing. Look, there seems to be 4, 5, 6 elements on there. It seems to be very tight. It's colourful. It's, that looks like a beautiful dish.
Now, these dishes...
Right, let's go. We're presenting down. Yeah, down. So you can drop, please, waiters. Drop in front of the judges. Go. Yeah, present, service. Let's go, Josh. You're still driving the path Sunday at 1:30. How lucky.
Interestingly, there's a lot of photographs being taken.
Right, so what the
straight
judges
off
will
the
do
bat.
now is they will take photos because you see so much food, so many components and so many dishes in the next hour. They will take photos of the main plate and every garnish. So I've kind of evolved over the years in many ways, but when we're in France now, I'm part of the tasting panel. So in France, there is a coach that is Dan Arnold, that stands this side, that drives the team. There's a kitchen. There is a kitchen. There is a tasting panel. I had the luxury, I suppose, of being part of the tasting panel this year in France.
Wow.
And then kind of off the side and above me is Tom Milligan, that helps and supports the team. So this is my job in France. So we take pictures of every element, the team, the countries, because you see so much food in such a short period that you need to remember.
And these considerations that the chefs are now reflecting on,
Yep.
I mean, they've only had the dish in front of them for, what,
Well,
30 seconds,
Yeah,
and
but
they're
it's less
already...
than 5 minutes, already writing. So
Yes,
they're looking
they're
down
already
their first
writing.
thoughts, presentation, colour, technique, shape. What's their first visual of that dish?
Okay.
Hang on, I'm just going to put
Okay,
this
we're-
back. Hang on. So,
I've witnessed Michael Cole take his first bite.
a big smile there as well too from Mike.
Yes.
Okay, Donna,
Yes.
team 2. They're about to dress their entree now. First course, so really we'll roll out now. Every 5 minutes there's a dish, is that correct?
Every 10 minutes there will be a dish
minutes. We've got
coming
plenty
out.
of time to fill in. Every 10 minutes there's a dish. So we've got about, 3 or 4 minutes now for Amber to have that done. And she's doing pine mushroom terrine, chestnut puree, sweet potato tartlet, textures of celeriac, pickled beetroot, candied walnut parcel, and a tarragon béarnaise. So very complex, lots of work, lots of things and elements going into this dish, and it's looking pretty good.
I was going to say, what's your first impression? It looks pretty
Well, it
gorgeous.
looks tasty, doesn't it?
It looks tasty.
very autumnal. Yeah, that's one of my favourite words, autumnal.
Oh, you mean autumnal?
Autumnal.
Oh, that's what you
No,
meant.
I mean like autumn with an AL.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like quinces. And I'm a chef, I cook pine mushrooms and quinces this time of year.
Yeah, are you pretty excited that pine mushrooms is part of the
Love pine mushrooms. Love them.
mandatory ingredients for Bocuse d'Or?
It's great. I mean, it's got those earthy flavours, the umami that goes with it, and it's something that we only see this time of year. So it's very important to have the seasonality, because when you get to France, it's in the middle of winter in January, it's cold, and even though we might have some of those products in Australia, you need to cook with what's available in France at the time.
What's it like for a chef to be so closely scrutinised while you're plating up?
Very difficult. Very difficult. You start to get a little bit nervous here. I was going to say what I would normally say in the kitchen, but I won't say that live on the mic. The pressure's on here. These people, these chefs, they are actually not, look, they are nervous. I'm sure that Amber, having Laura and all the judges and everyone here and Ballard and stuff, and us sitting here too, is putting them under pressure. You got camera, TV, lights. They're nervous.
I mean,
they are nervous.
A steady hand is very important.
Yep.
But then it's amplified, this extra level of pressure and scrutiny and people just sort of, literally breathing down their necks. Does that add, how much intensity does that add? I
think that probably doubles it, really. If you think, there's a lot of open kitchens these days, but normally, if you're in your kitchen, there's you and your team, right? You don't have this many spectators. This is kitchen, open kitchen, spectators, crowds, cameras, action, judges, And don't forget that these guys have been working on this for months now as well too. They were probably up at 4 a.m. this morning, packing the van, driving in the back, unloading. So that's, they've done 10 hours before they even get this food on the plate today. That's a massive day.
Do you think they've had much sleep?
Not normally. The nerves last night would have been there as well too. You're nervous. Have I forgotten anything? Have I put the chopping board in the van? Have I packed up? Have I got my Sharpies, the tweezers, the spoons? There's always something that you forget,
How long is that checklist? It must be...
Oh, it's a big checklist.
It's a big checklist,
it's a big
right?
checklist, Donna. Yeah. It would be pages and pages. They would have this down to, a folder that has every step of the way that they're going to do. They know what they're doing today. They know when they're actually putting the carrots on or the potatoes on, or they're cutting something or doing something, or what their next job is the whole time. So, it would be hundreds of elements that they need to actually bring along.
So we're at kitchen 2.
Yep.
Amber Heaton here is
And
working,
Amber's time is how long to go on Amber's time?
plating up. Well, she's only got I was going to say about 4
4.5
minutes.
Okay.
About 4 minutes.
Obviously, my watch is a bit fast, so that's why I'm ahead all day.
Ah, okay. So anyway, we're watching Emma Heaton. I know that you're known for your punctuality, Scotty.
Always get there. All right, I'm always first on the pass.
You turn up eventually.
I do.
So Amber Heaton is here plating up. She's got about 4 minutes to go. Oh, there's a little bit of redress here that we're replating something, which is fascinating to watch. In the meantime, that first dish is still being tasted. Oh, actually, there's a few empty plates already. So the judging panel, the vegetarian dish judging panel, has been obviously tasting what was being presented to them just a few minutes ago. As we noted, there was a lot of photos taken so they can recall what it looked like before they actually enjoyed that first meal from Kitchen One, from Paul Golding. So the final touches now on Amber Heaton's vegetarian dish. We're at Kitchen 2 here, and those last finishing flourishes are being added to what looks like a very spectacular looking dish. I'll just run you through what this first course is. Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell are about to present to the judging panel what they've called a walk in the forest, pine mushroom terrine, chestnut puree, sweet potato tartlet, textures of celeriac. We have pickled beetroot and candied walnut parcel, and a tarragon béarnaise. So within a couple of minutes
Behind. Right, coming in nice and close now, Donna.
Yes.
Here we go. 6 stunning plates from Amber coming up now. You're right on time, Andrew. We on? Yeah, happy on time, Mr. Ballard. Good. Still got time. How long to go until she starts to get into that kind of grey zone, Andrew? 30 seconds. She's got 30 seconds now. Okay, and the great right. So just explain as I will to the punters out here. There is a set time, and then you've got a couple of minutes that you can kind of leeway.
There's a 2-minute leeway afterwards, I believe. There's a 2-minute leeway afterwards, I believe, and these guys have exactly, 40 seconds.
And so 40 seconds until that little bit starts.
We chef.
Right, so they basically have. So you've got a window. Now you have still 120 seconds, Amber. If there's anything you want to wipe, double check. If not, we'll send the food. You happy? Good. Right, everything go. Well done, Amber. Big round of applause for Amber Heaton and for Abby Kernell. Great. And for their commis in the corner, their young chef as well too.
And what I really liked then, Scott, was the cheering from the crowd. Wasn't that lovely?
Yeah, it's
a little bit of
great,
encouragement is nice to hear people that admiring your work and admiring what you've put together. And now it's just about to be presented to the judges.
It is.
Had their first course from Kitchen 1. Now they're about to experience.
Clear out a little bit here. Clear out and let the waiters through. Let's go.
The first course from Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell.
Yeah, behind. Let's come through. Right, so now you'll see the same as in France. The 4 waiters arrived at the judges, and it's like, right, so present. And plates down. And so in France there will be 12 countries, 12 judges each side, 24 judges at a time. 12 waiters will arrive, and bang, the food goes down, and the judges have that 5-6 minutes to again take photos, notes, critique, first impressions, and then they get into the flavour and the taste.
Okay, so I just went through what they're actually going to be eating. So we'll just remind people who these judges are. So the vegetarian jury that are now about to embark on the tasting of Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell's first course. We've got Michael Cole, who's just about to take his first bite. I like watching Michael's first bite because you noticed before there's a little smile on his face. He's enjoying this process, and it's.
Oh, he's a charismatic man, isn't he, Mr. Cole?
Here we go. There's the terrine. Oh, and he's nodding. We got a nod that time. We got a nod and a smile from Michael.
We got
Cole.
a nod and a smile out of Mike. Nod and a smile. That's good.
And the other judges, I'll just quickly mention: Karen Doyle, Deepak Mishra, and Josh Pelham. They're all concentrating.
All very serious, all in the zone now. It's very important because, look, and so the kitchen marks are worth, I think, 20% overall. But the flavour, the presentation, everything now is 80%. So these guys have the best job, but also the toughest job.
It is a lot of responsibility, isn't it?
It's a huge amount of responsibility. If you look at the time, the investment and everything that goes through now, they need to get this right because the chefs and the team have put so much time and effort in that they will now go through a list and a criteria of a presentation, of seasoning, of flavour. You know, there'll be 10 or 12. Look, there's a core criteria, but each chef will have their own list if they like or dislikes that. And they'll keep those same, those same elements that they will mark everybody against.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very, very important. So, these are people that, are so accomplished and really know their stuff, don't they? It's not, not everybody gets to be a judge, let alone compete in Bocuse.
No, not just any random off the street.
No, the calibre of people that have come along here today to, to figure out who's going to represent Australia. It's quite a big deal to have these people here.
Look, they sacrificed their time, but also their knowledge. Michael stood in the box. That's what we call this bit behind us, right? The box. So when you get to France, you're in the box. Here, they're in the box, right? That's the kitchen. And Michael stood in the box with Laura, for 5 hours. Right? So in France, it's 5 hours for first dish, and then you get half an hour. So for 5.5 hours, that's just the cooking time, right? You've got the bump in, the preparation, getting organised beforehand. So he stood there in an environment that is 100 times like this, under pressure, and performed. Right, so in 2019, I was the coach. Right, so I stood here, and Michael was there, and Laura was there. I'm not allowed to do that anymore, so now I sit there and taste. Now it's Dan Arnold here, and the candidates there. You kind of move up along, even though I'd probably like to have Dano's job as the coach, I think they're happy that I'm at the tasting table. So, Michael and I went to, we went to France together. I stood there, and he gave me his list, and I just said, right, mate, you're going to stay on time. Bang, 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 bang. So kind of the coach driving the team to get there. Right, so next up, Donna, what's next up? And how long have we got? Here we go. Let's go down to Team 3. So Trev Jenkins.
So in about 6 minutes' time, we will have the vegetarian dish from Trevor Jenkins. So we've ended up at Kitchen 3 now, Scott.
It is. Now, Donna, let's be very 2023. We cannot discriminate about a vegetarian dish or a salmon dish. We're inclusive. Okay. So the first course.
We're just going to call it first course?
First course we're going to call it because, vegetarians, mate, they're right up there with pescatarians, aren't they?
Okay.
They're all important.
Moving on.
They're all important. We can't discriminate between
so we're just going to call it first course.
Or a salmon.
Okay. So what is Trevor Jenkins presenting?
Hang on, Trev. No one can hear you. You played and we'll talk it out. Right, Donna.
So we've got the panisse with the pickled pine mushrooms and chestnut.
Hang on, Trev's in the zone here.
We're going to help you out.
I think Trev's going to talk us through while he plays. Yep, he's going to multitask. Let's go, Trev.
Yeah, so we've got the panisse, then we've got the pickled chestnuts and walnuts on top. Over here we've got the enoki mushrooms with roasted pine mushrooms and some enokis. And we're going to stick some green ants on here. We're going to stick some garlic on there. We've got the faux chestnut.
Right, Donna, I think he needs a hand because he's busy and he's got 2 minutes to go. Ballard. 3 minutes and then a 2-minute window. So that's basically 5 minutes. So what you have is, at the 3-minute mark from now, you can present your food at any time in that 2-minute window without being penalised.
Okay.
Once you go over those 2 minutes, you start to lose points. So 3 minutes is the call. You know, maybe 3.5, 4 on the pass if you're nice.
The last thing you want to do is lose any points.
You don't want to lose points.
Not even 0.01 of a point.
Not 0.01. So
No.
that's the way that the competition works. You have a set time, and for him it's 1:30. But then from 1:30 to 1:32, anywhere in that window you can present. So you might take those last few seconds just to wipe the plate. Yeah, check your garnish. Just make sure that everything's perfect.
And that's when that organisational, those organisational skills come into play, because you are timing it down to
down to the second. Down to the second. So you'll see great teams of Europe. The Scandinavians, but normally the Norwegians, the Danish, the Swedish, and normally 3 out of the top 5. They will use that 2-minute window down to 5 seconds left. Bang, I'm ready, and then go. Because you're buying yourself, it doesn't seem like much, but another 90 seconds. All right, so they will be up on time, ready. Then they'll use that time for a couple more jobs. All right, let's go. This looks great, doesn't it, Donna? Already, you can see the amount of work that goes into here.
It's so detailed, isn't it?
So much detail. So much. All right, Donna, do you want to talk us through exactly what's written down?
Okay, so the first course.
First course.
From, I've been told, from Trevor Jenkins and his commis, Bethany Harmon. They're plating up right now. It is enoki mushroom steak, faux chestnut, pine mushroom duxelle, panis topped with pine mushroom puree, pickled pine mushroom, and chestnuts, of course, and chestnut too. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. I think there's a couple of green ants on there. It almost makes me want to be a vegetarian.
Oh,
almost, but not quite.
Not quite, not quite. So now we can see Bethany is actually plating up. So there's 6 plates here, all being...
Look, that looks amazing, doesn't it? Look.
All being prepared.
And it's an interesting idea. 3 minutes in total, so they've got 1 minute until the, that little window of opportunity opens. Let's go, Trev.
Those pesky little green ants, they keep running away.
They're actually still alive. They're jumping around. I think he's chasing them around the car park, Trev.
Stop it.
Look at that.
It is interesting to add the green ants, though, don't you think?
Well, look, the thing about those is they've got a wonderful citrus flavour. So ants naturally have a beautiful burst of acid, really. Very, very interesting, and a great little touch. And then that should cut through the fat of the panis.
Okay, so we see now Bethany is...
Yeah, she's got a little faux chestnut there, and that's a little chestnut.
That's
So
fascinating.
look, I would say off the top of my head, I haven't been in the kitchen tasting jury myself today, but it looks like it's probably a little chestnut puree that's dipped in something to make a little, a little faux chestnut. So, lots of work in that.
There has to be a little bit of cleverness too, doesn't there?
There does.
Are we in the way?
To be.
No?
Yeah.
We'll
okay, so
step out of the way.
Coming through now. Yep, let's clear. Right, Mr. Ballard, you let us know when we're ready to go. Okay, so 90 seconds less, Trev. Right, 90 seconds to be up and out. Right, so don't know what you're... There's 6 plates, so 4 plates go to the tasting jury over there, the entree jury, and then 2 go to our esteemed head judges, the amazing duo of Philippe Mouchel and Tom Milligan. So that's the 6 plates. I think, actually, you're tasting chef, aren't you? You taste the vegetarian? Yes.
The what? What's he tasting? What is Philippe Mouchel
I said pine mushrooms. That's pine mushroom in French.
Oh, I see.
Gentle, 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 gentle.
Thank you to the volunteers here from Victoria University who are helping with the presentations, of course. Without them, it would be a bit tricky to present these beautiful meals and dishes to the judges. We're about to present the third dish, the third first course, as we're calling it, from Trevor Jenkins and commis Bethany Harmon.
All right, so that's a massive round of applause, Donna. Your food's out, it's on the team tree. You have to Trevor Jenkins. And his commis, what's his name? And to Bethany Harmon. Massive round of applause. Thanks very much. Well done, team. All right, now get ready for your lamb, okay? Yeah, Trav, you got half an hour. Let's go. Right, Donna, what's next?
What's
We've
next?
got 10 minutes now, don't we?
We do have just a few minutes because we have to await the plating up of Tommy Prosser's dish.
Yep.
And then after...
course.
First course. First course. Are you going to tell me off all afternoon?
No, only when you say veg. I'm teasing, Donna, I'm teasing.
That's okay. I can handle it. I can handle anything.
Yeah.
30 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wouldn't believe what I've heard or been called.
No, I would have probably been called the same things,
yeah.
actually.
There's a few similarities in our worlds, and a few crossovers.
Right, Donna, so we've spoken about everybody else today.
Yes.
We've spoken about the chefs, the candidates, the sponsors, the sport, but tell us about you.
Oh.
Come on, everybody knows who I am. And tell us about you. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for emceeing this with me. Thank you for your support, first time involved in the Bocuse store. You know, tell us how you fit in now.
That's very kind. I will keep this very brief because completely unexpected. I know this is a bit of a time killer. It's okay. It's all good.
That's all right. That's all right. It's
No,
a killer. Oh, hang on, your mic comes out. Just
Sabotage. I was asked to come along and co-MC with Scott Pickett, and I thought, wow, this is quite an honour. And I actually have been a journalist for more than 30 years, and I did do a story for Weekend Sunrise on Alex McIntosh's trip to Bocuse d'Or. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, no.
There you go. And that's when I found out about it, and I thought, this is a wonderful event. It's a phenomenon, really. And the more I heard about it, the more intrigued I was. And it was a fantastic story to produce and package up, and went to air, and everyone was thrilled with. I think it's just really it's a really exciting time for people like myself who, you know, I'm not a chef, I'm not in the hospitality industry as such.
And not even a food journalist, one of those highly regarded food journalists in Australia.
I write about food, I talk about food, and I eat food. And that. Oh, thank you. But it's a little bit about me. So I suppose I'm just here because I suppose in my own way I want to support Bocuse d'Or as well, and I think what you're doing is fantastic, and it's been fun so far. Let's see how the day pans out, though. Let's see if I'm still thankful for being here by the end of the day.
You'll be all right. We might even find you a little faux chestnut to taste later. But for me, Donna, and for the team, I think it's important that we have the support of the food media, of the journalists in Australia, because we don't have enough of that, and that's the honest truth. But in Europe, you do. Right, in Europe it's everywhere, so we need to build the momentum that we've been trying for 20 years, and without people like yourself, if we don't have the print media and the online media, we can do the social media we like, but if we don't have the support of the food media and the hospitality industry, then we will never continue to keep growing and evolve. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Big round of applause for Donna, everybody, please. Big round of applause.
Thank you, Scott.
Pleasure.
Okay, how are we doing for time?
Right, Ballard, time. 6 minutes. Okay, 6.5 minutes to go.
Okay, so what are we going to be plating up here at Kitchen 4? Tommy Prosser and commis chef Isabel McDonald have put together something a little special here. Would you like to rattle it off, Scott? Or?
Sure. So, first course is a story Aussie bushland. Hang on, I don't have any glasses. I'm on blind.
Oh, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I'm blind
okay,
as a bat,
sorry.
actually, these days.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
Okay, so we have chestnut boudin noir, glazed chestnut and goat's cheese. And there's, so we haven't talked about the
garnishes.
Well, you know that there's the hero ingredients,
yes.
Okay, so there's the mandatory ingredients, and then there's the garnishes. So Tommy Prosser and Isabel McDonald have detailed all the little garnishes. So we have butterfly pea flower mousse, ice plant and a mushroom cloud. We have pumpkin flame fondant with a spiced tulle, and pine mushroom, Geraldton wax and saffron veil, smoked wattle seed damper, and a herb emulsion. Wow, this looks incredible. So there's about There's about 3 minutes of plating up, and then there's that 2-minute window that they still have. So they're putting it together. You can see this on the big screen. And yeah, I think it's going to come down right to the wire. Yes, it really is. It's looking a little bit tight here at Kitchen 4. But I'm sure they'll deliver something pretty spectacular.
They're timing it perfectly, Donna. They're just right at the point, which is exactly where you want to be. Exactly where you want to be.
We were talking before, Scott, about how many elements there are in each dish, and this dish looks very,
much work.
very complex, doesn't it?
So much work in there. Right, yep, let's get... Right, Tommy, you make sure that your commis putting something on as well too.
So here at Kitchen 4, we have Tommy Prosser and commis chef final plating. So you can see that on the big screen there, and this is also being live streamed. So if you know someone that might want to be watching this, you can go to the Bocuse d'Or Facebook channel, or you can check on Instagram, Bocuse d'Or Australia, and you can actually tap into the YouTube channel via a link there on their Instagram. So if you know someone that wants to be watching this elsewhere that couldn't make it today, you can let them know. So we know now that there's only about 90 seconds or so before Kitchen 4 will present its first course. So I can see a lot of shaking hands actually. there's a very palpable intensity that I can feel around Kitchen 4, and even Scott is very, very focused watching them put this final dish together. So this will be the final dish from the first course run. So the jury has already had 3 dishes. We know Kitchen 1, Kitchen 2, Kitchen 3, they've all presented already, and we're just waiting. There's a few more seconds, not very long at all, until the final dish is presented in the first course. Doesn't it look incredible? It's so detailed, and of course every dish that's come out of the kitchens today, there's so much hard work, so much passion, so much creativity and innovation and absolute passion put into each morsel that is plated up here today at Bocuse d'Or Australia. So we see the Victorian University volunteers gathering at Kitchen 4 because they're about to collect the plates and present to the judges. There is a lot going on those plates. I can see the judges looking up at the screen in anticipation, looking forward to experiencing what Tommy Prosser and Isabel McDonald have put together to try to impress them. Basically, that's what they're here for, to impress and to get that opportunity to represent Australia globally at Bocuse d'Or in Lyon, France. The plates are being handed out now to the volunteers. In the meantime, obviously, a lot of work's still being done in the kitchens behind me, of course, because they still have their main dish to present.
Back. Right, we're back, Tommy. Well done. Izzy, massive round of applause for Team 4. Perfectly in time, 10 seconds to go. Amazing effort. Well done. Team 4, that's amazing. Hey, sorry, just wanted to give them a hand then for a little bit, just to...
No need for apologies. No, I could tell it was
off
very...
and just pushing Team 4 a little bit together, didn't there?
very, very intense. But the meal's being presented now, the dish has been presented. And we see here, obviously, Philippe Mouchel and Tom Milligan taking their pictures before they tasting.
Before they start tasting. So, that is the last of the first courses coming through. Yep, theme is vegetarian theme for the first course of pine mushrooms and chestnuts. Look at that amount of work. There's so much work in that dish. There's 4 key elements, and in each element there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, multiple things. So there's 30 or 40 different little, bits and pieces that go into this dish.
Scott, would you say that is particularly aesthetically pleasing? It is so
Looks amazing,
intriguing.
There's the little twill
so
there
much
looks like the
detail.
Opera House, I think, maybe a little Australian inspiration there of the little biscuit. A little sail there. Yep, looks amazing. It's great work by Team 4. Now, the thing is, Donnie, you think that the competition's over now, but it's not. Right, we're only halfway through. We now have the meat course, or the meat platter in France. It'll be a platter, but here it's plated. So we are going to roll back to Team 1 in a moment, and then they're going to do it all again. Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4, with the lamb saddle and lemon myrtle, key components of the next dish.
I cannot wait. Are we having a little break? Or
I think we're having a little break.
Okay.
All right, great. Hello. Right, we're back, Donna.
We are so back.
We are down to the last 5 minutes now. Yeah, Ballard, is there 5 minutes to go, Andrew? How long, Chef?
Time flies, huh?
3 minutes, so 3 minutes. So just to talk you through what's going to happen now, we are 3 minutes from Team 1. Team 1, which is Paul Golding and Chris Milligan, his commis coming through for the main event, the lamb saddle and lemon myrtle.
Would you like me to run through it?
You run through it. There we go.
Okay, because you still haven't got your glasses.
No, I can't read it.
Okay, so we have the lemon saddle and...
Lemon saddle. That's a little mix between lemon myrtle and a sheep.
Oopsie. Lamb saddle and lemon myrtle platter, which will be presented shortly to the judges. And we have... Gosh, there's a long list.
Yeah, just choose a few key elements,
Okay,
otherwise
I
we'll
think
run over time, I reckon.
So we've got 3 minutes and counting before this is presented. Boned and pressed saddle of lamb, honey brine and ash crust. We have lemon myrtle chicken missoulin with lamb's liver, torched and glazed with rosemary flowers.
That's just the meat component. That's
Okay.
before we get to the...
And then we have the garnishes. No, look, they're quite detailed, but I
Very
think,
detailed.
with all due respect, I'm going to read them out because
Okay,
they
you go.
put their heart and soul into putting this dish together. So I'm going to tell you what's in the garnishes. Goat's curd, pickled root vegetables, chervil and lemon myrtle with beetroot glaze and crisp fern. We also have a seeded tartlet, wasabi leaf, garden pea and asparagus, soured shallots, dill emulsion and a chive tip. And the third garnish, layered potato and kohlrabi, burnt butter, rosemary and bush pepper, soured cream with herb and black garlic, pickled kohlrabi and mustard seed.
Give me a work.
A lot of work, a lot of work. Look
Right.
at this tray.
Right, Laura, how long to go? Are you on timer? Yeah, right, so there's 2 minutes. So can we zoom in here if we're not already? Can we get in on the platter? Right, so look at that. So, yeah, the main event. Right, the lamb saddle, 3 garnishes.
And
And
I did
Chef
forget-
Chris is putting down the little celeriac and potato number on there. Very tight, very precise, very colourful. It looks great. It'll be down to the taste, I think.
Can we go back to the presentation and how important the presentation, how spectacular does this tray look?
It looks spectacular and the lamb's not even on there yet.
Yeah, and that elevation, that's going to look amazing, isn't it?
Yep,
That-
and so the lamb saddle will be floating on top there on a little, like in French it's a trivet, right? You would normally cook if you're roasting something on the bone, but not on the bone like a lamb saddle, like on the actual bones, and it kind of floats out.
Oh, lovely.
Like a little rig up there for the lamb to sit up on
Here
top.
it is.
There it is, there's the lamb. And they're perfectly on time. Are they on time there, Andrew? Are they ahead or where's their window?
55 seconds left.
All right, so 45 seconds to wipe the platter. Yeah, tidy it up and just finish it off, Paul, now.
So first the platter will be presented.
Yep, so first the platter will be shown in front of the judges, so make sure it's perfect. Yep, let's go. You check everything now. There's how long, Andrew?
35 seconds.
Until the 2 minute window. Oh, that's it. So 30 seconds. Let's go. You ready? Yep, we give the sauce jug a little wipe. No, you're good to go on top. There we go. So the platter's going to be presented in front of the judges, in front of the tasting panel. And then it's going to come back and it's going to be carved and plated. Hang on, I'm just going to give him a hand here. Through the platter now. It's like me and Mr. Ballard are the bouncers to make sure, because it's very important now that it's come, right, that all the judges get to see the meat platter. And so this is exactly how it happens in France. So they'll lights and cameras everywhere through their main platter. Right, let's keep moving, Deepak, that's enough. Let's go through before it's cold. Yep, let's keep going.
You can't blame Deepak.
To be mindful that the next team is up very shortly. So if you're behind now, that it impacts the other teams. Straight, 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 nice and straight. Right, yep, we're coming through now. So this is the important bit now. Right, the meat jury of Chef of Chef Binan and Alex McIntosh. So very important. And now I don't know what's going to happen. Is that's going to return to the kitchen.
No, it's going to...
Photo, and then it's going to go back to the kitchen and they're going to carve and then put it on the plates for the judges to taste.
Okay, so
this is only first part of the meat.
Okay, so it is a sense of like first impression. You have to see it as a whole, let's say, and then it gets taken out the back for
and
a
then
photo.
Photos, and then carve. So then they're going to carve the lamb saddle, then put that on the plate, then sauce. So there's a lot of work in this one as well too, just to actually get the food on the plate.
Absolutely, and also we talked about presentation. So when they slice it up, I mean, they also have to make sure that it's meticulously plated then as well.
Yes, yeah, and they're all the same thickness, straight carve, and not on the side like a little ski slope. It's got to be presented perfectly. So there's still a bit of work for that team to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it is flying by though. I mean, they've worked so hard. I mean, months and months of thought and preparation and consideration, what to put together for today. And now it feels like
training and repetition and going over and practice and practice and practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very important. So that looked absolutely stunning.
It looked rather spectacular, didn't it? It was really incredible. So we do have a different set of judges now, of course. We had the first set of judges who we thank, and they're still at the table. They're still, thinking about what they've just, tasted and.
Well, they'll be talking about that. Right. So all 4 judges now will be having a chat. And they'll be saying, Donna, what did you think? Did you miss anything? Is there anything that I thought was good or bad? And they'll kind of be reflecting on, the 16 amazing plates of food that the 4 judges have seen now to work out how they're going to do their sliding scale. Right?
Okay, so they can talk amongst themselves.
You can talk amongst yourselves and have a look. In France, they don't do that as much, but here we want to look because you're not sure, right? So the tough thing about judging is the first team comes out. Now, you don't know where they sit in 1 to 4 or in France in 1 to 12. So you might go, okay, they're an 18 out of 20. But then the next team, actually roll along, they're better or they're worse. So you might change your marks depending on where the other team sits. Because if the top countries come out first and you give it 18, 19, there's nowhere to move. So then you kind of, you rate the teams amongst themselves and see where they slot in. And really you do a place of 1 to 4.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you can see they've got those furrowed brows, and it looks quite intense, that conversation there. I can see that they're conferring. They're having a little deliberation.
They are. And I think they're using the experience of one another to see whether there's any elements or any things that they've missed or that another chef might have picked up on. Just to have a conversation about all the plates of food to make sure. Because if you look at that, even when we saw the box of kitchen 4 and so Tommy presses up, there were so many elements just in his dish. And by the time you get to Tommy's, you've kind of forgotten what kitchen 1 did. So you've got to go back through and see, okay, so what did Paul do? What did Amber do? What did Trevor do? There's so many components, and you only get a brief look at it. 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then you taste, you write your things down, and it's away, and then you're into the next team. So that's why now they'll kind of be digesting it, working out exactly, literally digesting it.
I was going to say, excuse the pun, Scott.
And they'll just be taking it all in now to see, there might be some standouts of like one particular garnish or something else that another chef has done, and they'll just talk about that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as the judges for the first course deliberate and confer, as we said, we already have the second table here, Alex McIntosh, Stephen Nairn, Sasha Randell and Bern Uber already discussing. And all they've done is seen the lamb saddle come out on a platter, but they're already deep in discussion.
They're already deep in discussion. They're already going to say, what was my first impression? Obviously, the first impression, whilst flavour is king, you eat with your eyes. And the first thing that you see is that first impression. So I think the key here is to actually back up the presentation with the flavour, and then you've got to win a combination.
Okay, so let's check the time.
Let's check the time. We do. Well, we've got official timekeeper. We have the official timekeeper, Chef Andrew Ballard. He's been involved in Bocuse store for many years, but he's keeping every team on their toes.
You don't need to do the bottom bit.
Right, Ballard. How long?
That's it, up here.
Just start. Okay. Right, so we have 4 minutes in total for Team 2 for Amber. For Chef Amber, so it's 2 minutes, and then she has a window of 2 minutes. So just under 4 minutes now in total to get that whole platter finished.
And Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell in Kitchen 2 have described their second course as a regal roast dinner.
Wow.
There you go. Would you like me to
Please go through. You have 2
involved?
minutes. 2 minutes, Donna. Quick, 2 minutes.
I'll do it in 35 seconds.
Okay, right.
Listen to this. So the regal roast dinner about to be presented to the jury. Pistachio and lemon myrtle crusted lamb saddle, orange glazed carrot, goat's cheese, turnip, minted peas, yum, confit potato, pancetta, and red wine jam and lamb jus. So that is what the judges will be tasting very, very shortly as we see our official timekeeper look at his watch once more, because we are keeping tabs, of course, on timings, because it's all down to the second. And you can see the detail and the meticulous nature of putting together these incredible dishes that they have actually poured over for many, many weeks, months, even years in some cases, thinking about what they would cook and what they would present if they were given an opportunity to be part of Bocuse d'Or. So we have a few seconds left, I assume. Those final touches, those flourishes on the garnishes are being made and being done as we speak by Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell. So they've got about 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes and 20 seconds I'm told, until the judges will be able to see this gorgeous lamb saddle that's been prepared by Kitchen 2, by Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell. Where's Scott got to? Scott's very focused on watching those last flourishes being added to the garnishes. So that tray will come out very, very shortly, and it will be presented to the judges, who will then decide. Well, I suppose first impressions count, don't they? First impressions do count. Okay, we've just heard from the official timekeeper for Bocuse d'Or Australia that there is 1 minute to go until we will see the lamb saddle presented to the 4 judges. Waiting very, very patiently there to see what Amber Heaton and Abby Kernell come up with for their main dish. So the competitors, the chefs, had to include lamb saddle. That was an absolute mandatory component of the dish, of course. I think they're counting down the seconds now, and it won't be long until we get to see what Amber and Abby have called a regal roast dinner.
Right, Donna, sorry, I just got caught up making sure that they were good.
No need to apologise.
Giving a bit of a push.
It's a reflection of how, how intense it can be.
Well, it's intense. I mean, they had 4 seconds left, literally. So, massive round of applause for Amber and for Abby. Well done, chefs, well done. Now, we will get to the lamb in a minute, but I was just told by Trish Hardy that young Abby's dad, Lee Canal, actually competed in Bocuse d'Or in the Australian, in, what was it, 2003, 2004, when I went through, and I actually hadn't made the connection until now. So how is that two chefs that have competed at Bocuse d'Or, Lee Canal and Tom Milligan, their children are now young commis, young chefs there. So massive round of applause for young Abby. Well done. Abby, how old are you, Abby? 19. Donna, come here, because we've got about 6 minutes to fill now, and the lamb's up, and we won't talk to Abby for all 6 minutes, but you're done, Abby. Come in here, and then we'll talk to Amber while she ties it up. Come on. Yeah, don't be shy. Abby, 19 years old, you've just done 5.5 hours with Amber. Now, Amber's a seasoned right? She's been in competitions already in her hour. Is this your first competition? Oh, it's not your first. Okay, right. How many have you been in? 3 or 4 already at 19. Yeah, just a bit closer. Yeah, close. But there you go. Wow, amazing. And how was today?
Yeah, it was stressful.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, happy you got there just in time?
Yes.
Amazing effort. Well done. Thank you very much. And say hi to your dad for me. Right, so we've got a bit of time now before we carve. Amber, right, are you good? Good. He's got to pass her the mic. Let's get interviewed.
Okay, Amber,
Let's
just
go.
a quick,
She's got
quick
10
word.
minutes.
Scott has a question for you.
Right, how's things? Right, so the platter's being shown. There's photos out the back, and it's going to come back and you're going to carve it?
Yes.
Yep, you're feeling all right about how you're going?
I'm feeling really good. I'm really proud of Abby and Ashley today, how they've performed. I couldn't be happier, and it's been a goal of mine for a while now. You know, I'm only 22, but it's been a goal of mine to compete.
Hey, Amber, well done.
I'm very proud. Very proud.
Right, amazing. It looks stunning. If that tastes half as good as it looks, I tell you what, then you're in for a solid crack.
Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, well done. Well done, ladies. Great effort. Chefs, well done.
Isn't that extraordinary? A team
Unbelievable.
led by a 22-year-old,
Yeah.
and her commie is 19.
19.
They're doing a spectacular job. And talk about hoping under pressure.
Unbelievable. Like there was literally, they had 5 or 6, 7 seconds to go. But that's what it's about. They bring it right down to the wire. They had time to wipe their platter, and she just fine-tuned a couple of garnishes, and it looks stunning. So, you know, I must say this year the standard has been unbelievable so far.
I noticed that you were very, very, I suppose, engrossed in those last few seconds, because were you feeling that stress?
No.
No.
But part of
why were you so engrossed?
I was engrossed because I do chat and talk a lot, but for me it's about the support of all 4 teams, and if they need a little bit of direction and a bit of guidance when they're stressed and you can see them shake a little bit, then that's kind of what I did for many years. That's what Dan Arnold does now. It's just to stand on the outside of the box, calm them down a little bit, because I know how important it is for all these teams to get that food up perfect right on time. So I just gave them a little push.
And we've talked about that, haven't we? That mentoring role that some people, like yourself, who've been part of the Bocuse d'Or Australia for so long now. You know, you do want to support, you do want to mentor.
Oh, you do. You want these, you want these chefs to be involved for a long time. Yeah, we do. So, you know, there's no one here that we would choose over one or the other or whatever it is. It's all about the food today. But if I've got to jump in and give Tommy a push for 10 minutes, or down there with Paul or with Amber or with Trevor, then it's important, because I know it's important thing to these teams now is getting it on the plate right. So that's important.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a competition, but by the same token...
Yeah, but I'm not a judge. So I'm allowed to give them a little hand here and there, make sure they're all good.
What I'm trying to say is that, it's a competition at large, but essentially we're all here to support, to help, to work as a community.
100%. So it's important to me that, right, because you'll see that the judges here, the timekeepers, they can't get involved. They can't say anything. They can't do anything. Yeah. But, it's kind of nice to step in and just give them a little hand at the end to make sure that they're calm, they're good, they get their platter up. You saw with Amber, it was good. Like they were down to the wire, calm and done, and same as Paul. And it'll be the same as Trevor, Tommy coming through. Sometimes you just need that, just a little bit of reassurance, just deep breath. Good, we've got this. We bring them down to the wire, out, execute, and then move on.
Yeah, that's great. How do you help them focus? How do you help?
Hang on, I'm going to jump in here now again,
that's
actually.
Okay, this is
Brian
the last few minutes of this
how long, Chef?
Kitchen 3.
4 minutes. Right, so 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Right, I'm jumping back in here again.
Okay. So we've just heard from Chef Scott Pickett about the importance of just being there to show some support, to help them keep calm, because the intensity and the stress in those last few seconds really ramps up. And we know that these teams have been here for many, many, many hours. They got in quite early this morning, and they've been working really, really hard in these kitchens to present something that not only they're proud of, but potentially could catapult them onto the global stage, representing Australia at the Bocuse d'Or in Lyon. So now we have, I think it's about 90 seconds or so of plating up for Trevor Jenkins and commis Bethany Harmon. So we've reached kitchen 3 now. We know that it'll be the lamb saddle platter that is presented, as in the judges will just have a relatively brief look at the presentation at the lamb saddle as it comes out, and then it will be taken backstage for a quick photo, and then it will be sliced up for presentation.
Right, there we go. Team 3, box 3, Trevor Jenkins and Bethany Harmon. There we go. Look at that lamb platter, amazing. Trev, Bethany, massive round of applause. Wow. Hang on. Out. Right, and so Chef Ballard, this one is so intricate that Chef is carrying this himself. That's the care that all of the judges, that everyone actually puts in, because the worst thing that could happen is these young trainees drop the platter. There might be some fucking fireworks then, Donna, I'll tell you what.
No. We can't have that. I haven't mentioned yet what Trevor Jenkins and Bethany Harmon have put together, so I'll just quickly run
Not
through
that they would, but, you know.
So what's shown to the judges right now and presented to the judges is a lamb saddle roulade, sweet pea panna cotta, potato fondant, beetroot goat's cheese mousse, and a lemon myrtle lamb glaze.
Have you taken one?
Chief Judges Tom Milligan and Philippe Mouchel have just had a close look.
Yeah, 1 sec, Donna. Here we go. So we actually have the lamb saddle that's been carved and presented from Team 1. That's now about to be plated up and presented to the judges for tasting. Hang on, we'll get back to Team 3 in a sec. Hang on. Right, very important moment now. Right, so the lamb saddle. 4 are ready. Down. Let's go. Yeah, Team 1's lamb saddle has been out the back. Now it's being presented in front of the judges. And at the same time, you see Team 3's platter is being carried by Chef Ballard. And that's going to go out the back now to be photoed and then carved.
It's all happening now.
It's all happening now. There's crossover. This is constant.
There's a little bit of overlap now. So, as you said, that lamb saddle that's been carved, that first lamb saddle from Kitchen 1 has now been officially presented to the judges. And I can tell you, they are taking so many notes. It doesn't take very long for them to know that they really need to, as Scott's explained, jot down what springs to mind immediately. Their first impressions, that first mouthful, and the second, and the third, of course. It's all important as they do their tastings and assess those beautiful flavours after they've seen the meal presented.
Yeah, Donna, we're just getting timings right, that's all, because you can see now there's an overlap of the platter of kitchen 4 coming up, of kitchen 3, platters out, right, it's kitchen 2 is actually carving the lamb. So they're just going to make sure that they're in their window and that everybody gets up on time.
Yeah, it's really coming down to the crunch now, isn't it? And as you say, everyone, I just overheard Trevor saying, oh, nearly there, nearly there.
Nearly there, nearly there, but he's
quite.
got a carve and play, but you see now as well too.
Still a while to go because those final...
Well, the photo shoot for the first team went on a little bit too long, so it's important now that hands, but it's important.
Absolutely, yes, because we've established that timings are very, very important.
Timings are down to the second, as you saw.
Well, and also I've just heard, if I heard correctly, that once the lamb saddle comes out, say for instance to kitchen 3 here, they have 15 minutes, a 15-minute window.
15 minutes for it to come back, be photoed, down, carved, and then plated and then out. So, and then it's got to get back to the judge well too. So timing's
within 15 minutes.
Within 15.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, Fred, not during scoring. Thank you. Later. Thank you.
Okay, so as you can tell, it's still a hive of activity. We do have a little way to go yet, even though, as I mentioned, I heard Trevor Jenkins saying, oh, we're nearly there. We're not quite, because here at Kitchen 3, Trevor, you'll be right, you'll be right. Trevor Jenkins here is going to be plating up. Okay, so we've had the lamb saddle come out, of course, and the judges have had a look, and now I think his lamb saddle, Trevor, I think your lamb saddle's being photographed as we speak, and so as soon as it comes out, there's a, oh, don't be worried, I'm sure it'll come out eventually, or shortly, I should say. So what's going to happen is when that lamb saddle comes out, of course, the Jenkins team will rally once more and they'll be presenting their dish to the judges. So that's what's happening here at Kitchen 3. So they're kind of on pause, but I'm sure they're still frantically thinking through all the things that they need to do and want to do to make sure that their dish looks truly spectacular and tastes amazing when it finally does get presented. Oh, here it is. Trevor Jenkins, I think I just heard that sigh of relief. So the lamb saddle is back and now it will be carved, and it has to be carved really well. Like as Scott said, it can't have different widths. It has to be all very, very tidy and very, very neatly done. So we have Trevor Jenkins here about to start carving his lamb saddle. And then at Kitchen 4, we're counting the minutes down to seeing the lamb saddle from Kitchen 4. And I will let you know that what's going to be on this platter. Tommy Prosser and his commis chef Isabel McDonald have put together what they call their story, the traditional Aussie lamb roast. So how have they decided to present? Well, they've got a lamb mosaic, truffle farce, pea mousse, and of course, the mandatory ingredient, lemon myrtle. And what they've done, they've put it together as a lemon myrtle gel to accompany the lamb saddle. We've mentioned the garnishes before. You've probably noticed the extraordinary amount of detail and brilliance that goes into those garnishes that accompany the mains. And so Tommy Prosser and commis chef Isabel McDonald here at Kitchen 4 have put together a pea tartlet. This pea tartlet has lemon myrtle mousse and native sea vegetables. The second side, macadamia and cauliflower custard. And the third side, is an anise myrtle roulade with braised red cabbage and an anise myrtle vein. And the sauce, you cannot forget the sauce. The sauce is also mandatory. You absolutely have to have a sauce. And the sauce that will accompany this traditional Aussie lamb roast, as Tommy describes it, will be a wattle and native thyme jus. I'm just watching you all look at the big screen and in awe, literally in awe of what these extraordinary chefs have put together today from the early hours of this morning to try to impress these esteemed judges who between them, I'm terrible at some, I'm a real journo, I've got no idea, but between them they've probably got hundreds of years of culinary experience between them all. We have some of the greatest chefs on the judging panel here.
Right, so sorry, Donna. So we've got the lamb saddle from Team 2 that's been back, carved, and now being presented to our judges. Massive round of applause. Team 2, Amber and Abby, well done, ladies. Well done. It's carved, it's up. It's that moment of relief now. You can see it on Amber's face, look. The lamb's been carved and sauced and it's got to the judges. So, so great effort, well done. Now, this is where timing's crucial. So you can see now that the lamb saddle from Tommy Perkins coming out, smoking there, look at that. Looks unbelievable. You can smell the salt bush, you can smell Australiana there, look at that. There, a bit of theatre from Tommy in box 4, so that looks great. And then very quickly now, so what we're doing is we're going to go into Team 3. Like it should be a set slops on. Right, Donna, do you want to talk through? So now we've got Team 3 coming up. Their plates are almost ready.
Absolutely. So we have...
It's been back, it's been carved.
It has been
from
carved.
Trevor. Yep.
Now we've got this lamb saddle roulade with a sweet pea panna cotta and a potato fondant. And we've also, of course, I can't miss it because it's so beautiful and pretty, vibrant beetroot colour, the beetroot goat's cheese mousse, and there will be a lemon myrtle lamb glaze to accompany this saddle of lamb and lemon myrtle dish that will be presented to the judges.
You know what they do with the lamb?
So Trevor and Bethany here at Kitchen 3 are putting on those final touches, final plating of their dish. Oh, and it's ready now. It's coming out now. So I think, Trevor, you're probably feeling pretty good about that because it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. So we have the volunteers now coming through from Victoria University to help with the presenting of the plates. As we speak, the lemon myrtle lamb glaze is being drizzled onto the plate here at Kitchen 3. And Those plates are going out now. And those volunteers from Victoria University are doing really, really well because, as you can imagine, they're also under pressure to make sure that they've got a steady hand as they present these beautifully plated up dishes. These main dishes prepared by some exemplary chefs trying to impress the judges.
Just stand there. Just wait. Sorry.
And present. And there we are. Trevor Jenkins and Connie Bethany Harmon's meal, their beautiful lamb saddle roulade has been presented to the judges. Lots of photos, as per usual, lots of photos being taken. There's Alex McIntosh making sure that he's got a picture or 20 of the lamb roulade. That first taste, I've noticed a lot of the judges, the chef judges, are tasting the sauces first. And now they're digging in. So now that Kitchen 3 has presented its meal, we only have one left. We have Kitchen 4 that's waiting for their lamb saddle, which will be out very, very shortly. How are you feeling, Tommy?
The shoulders, you know. It's been a good 6 months getting to this point. So yeah, we've got a 4-week-old at home. So when we get back to Sydney, we drove down 2 days ago. So when we get back to Sydney, it'll be daddy time.
I have heard that your dedication to Bocuse d'Or is next level. You really are quite focused and determined to try to showcase what you can do.
Yeah, look, my background was 3 Michelin star, Waterside Inn, the Roo Brothers. It's been a while since I've done the food to that level, and look, I felt like I had a good chance to be able to represent the country and hopefully do well in Lyon.
Now, Tommy, I'm not going to keep you because your lamb has returned from its photo shoot and now needs to be carved. It just looks so gorgeous. As Scott said, a little bit of theatre accompanied Tommy Prosser, his meal that he is about to present to the judges. So we have Chef Tommy Prosser in Kitchen 4 and commis chef Isabel McDonald. And they've put together the traditional Aussie lamb roast. He's about to start carving. And we're going to get a close-up look now of the lamb.
Cauliflower to the right. Cauliflower, the base. So you can put the pea on first. So pea goes here. Yeah. Polish those plates first, quickly.
Of course, a steady hand is absolutely critical in any kitchen. And we're going to watch now as Tommy Prosser and his team, including commis chef Isabel McDonald, plate up this final dish before the judges get to taste it. We've talked a lot about what something looks like, the presentation, the thought that's gone into where each morsel goes on the plate. It's just as important as flavour, although flavour kind of beats it a little bit, just by a smidge. But it's just fascinating to watch. the plates come together.
No crumbs in it.
The pea tartlet, which is a lemon myrtle mousse with native sea vegetables. Then we have the macadamia and cauliflower custard
Whenever you're ready, Tommy. Right.
with roasted florets and parsley and a parmesan sable.
And then I'll get
And then the other garnish is the anise myrtle roulade with braised red cabbage. So that's what they call the garnishes. But as you can hear, they're quite involved. It's not just a little flick of parsley or a little dab of something. They're mini dishes into themselves. And then, of course, the lamb salad, which is just being carved right this moment by Tommy Prosser. He looks very focused, as he should and would be. And Scott Pickett, always there, just to sort of, if they need a little calming word or a little word of support, Scott Pickett's there for them, which is fantastic. Because the pressure's truly on at the moment. We have the volunteers here from Victoria University. Thank you very much for all your support and helping out today. And there's a bit of pressure on you guys too. Make sure that everything goes to plan as you present these beautiful plated dishes to the judges. Thank you everybody for coming along today and witnessing some of the most delicious, delectable and refined dishes ever to be put together. We have the kitchens pretty much wrapping up. We've just got kitchen 4 left now to present their lamb saddle. There's a few little last minute things going on there. There's a flurry of activity still, as you can imagine. They want to get everything exactly right, don't they? They've worked so hard towards this moment.
Okay, last garnish on.
And the wonderful Scott Pickett is still by their side and just looking over, giving them a little bit of guidance, just a little bit of support and keeping them calm in these final moments of plating.
You get a sauce in the middle, okay? Right, you ready?
Right, so team 4 now, and to Tommy and Izzy have got their lamb saddle up. It's back, it's carved, it's ready to go, and Chef Dan Arnold's going to sauce at the plate. So, right, Sean, let's go. Yeah, so same as it is in front, Sean. Yeah. Very hot plates, and it's a massive round of applause for Tommy and Izzy. Team 4, lamb up, carved, and looks amazing. Well done. Yeah, very hot plate. Right, Donna, so the last platter's been carved, the last lamb saddle has been served. Wow, crazy, isn't it? Hey, crazy couple of hours?
It's been intense, but it's been absolutely eye-opening too to see the work that's gone into putting together these incredible dishes. And I said to Trevor, I heard him that sigh of relief. And I know
at the end.
it's done.
And once it's done, it's out. It's like that moment.
Yeah.
I actually got all my food on the plate. It's there. There might be obstacles and hurdles, a few speed bumps along the way, but the relief that you get when it's actually served, and then you high five your team members, you pee them around you, and then you start clearing out. They've still got, you know, probably by the time they clear out now and get in the vans and the cars and home and back to the restaurants, they've probably got 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. There's a presentation when?
Oh yes, there will be a presentation.
I do the award ceremony, 4 o'clock the award ceremony. So these guys still have, you know, a 6, 8 hour day in front of them. So
there is an award ceremony at 4 o'clock. You're all very, very welcome to come along and see who wins, because we're going to go. And the winner is essentially going to be representing Australia.
They will be, yeah.
At the Asia Pacific Bocuse d'Or.
Yep, and then hopefully we get through there. Look, with the right training by Dano and the team, should get by.
And
you know, the food's a great level for that.
from Scott Pickett.
Well, yeah, if I'm allowed up from the table, but I wasn't in France. But yeah, as you can see, I like to get in and make sure that every team, you know, they put so much effort in that they just get it right.
Absolutely. No, it's been an absolutely fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed it. And for anyone watching at home, because people have been live streaming this, been watching attentively and following along to see how this all happens before their very eyes. This extraordinary competition.
Unbelievable.
That really showcases some of the most incredible
Young talent ideas of the
talent,
country.
yes.
Right, I want to go and see the chefs now. We're going to wrap this up. We'll be back in half an hour or something, Donna.
We'll be back with the presentations. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you, Donna. Cheers.
Is it going? Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here at the Bocuse d'Or Australia. We're going to hear from the judges shortly because the winner will be announced at 4 o'clock. So thank you so much for joining us here and through the live stream, and we'll present the winner at 4 o'clock this afternoon.